This story was sent to me by Caressing Me Night, and before I even get started, this does not look like a woman. This doesn't even look human. It looks like something extraterrestrial. And it's just, ugh. But I have to talk about it because it pertains to something very important. Now, in case y'all didn't know, Capital One Bank had a huge data breach that just recently occurred. And it doesn't surprise me that this happens because these banks have data breaches all the time that always affect millions of people. Bank of America is notorious for having them, which is one of the reasons I got up out of that bank years ago. Capital One is no different. Wells Fargo, whoever, are known to have them. That's why it doesn't catch me by surprise that it happened. But this individual right here, whose name is Paige Thompson, who looks like their name should be Perry Thompson, because I swear to goodness, this does not look like a woman to me. But they said that it is. She has been arrested because she played a role in it. What role, I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to read this article coming from ABC News and find out what role indeed that she did play. A Seattle woman was arrested on Monday morning in connection with a newly disclosed Capital One data breach that impacted more than 100 million people. Capital One said it identified a security breach on July 19th when an unauthorized source obtained certain types of personal information related to credit card customers and others who had applied for products, the company said in a statement Monday. Capital One immediately fixed the configuration vulnerability that this individual exploited and promptly began working with federal law enforcement. Based on our analysis to date, this event affected approximately 100 million individuals in the United States and approximately 6 million in Canada. Specifically, the bank believes about 140,000 social security numbers of its credit card customers and around 80,000 linked bank account numbers were compromised. I'm going to say this to anybody listening to this video right now. If you have a Capital One account, a Capital One bank account, you need to make sure that either one, you weren't affected, or two, if you were affected, you need to freeze all your stuff right now and get a whole new card. Take it from somebody who was the victim of a hack years ago. It's no fun when you have to deal with something like that. They ran up my card almost $1,000 on a phone bill that was not attached to me. And it actually almost happened again last year when somebody got a hold of my information and attached like 2 or 3 iPhones to my account. I'm like, I don't even own an iPhone. I've never owned one. I'm not even a fan of iPhones. So make sure that you check into that if you are a Capital One bank account holder, just to be safe. I'd rather you be safe than sorry. Paige Thompson, who goes by the nickname Erratic, was arrested on 1 count of computer fraud and abuse, according to the court documents filed in the Western District of Washington on Monday. Thompson attempted to intrude on Capital One's server numerous times between March and July and succeeded at least once. Some of the information was encrypted according to court documents, but tens of millions of credit card applications were not. Although some of the items were tokenized or encrypted, other information, including applicants' names, address, date of birth, and information on their credit history, has not been tokenized. Thompson allegedly bragged online about the hack. I've basically strapped myself with a bomb vest. Fuck dropping Capital One docs and admitting it. She allegedly wrote in a Twitter direct message. There's SSNS, or social security numbers, full names, and date of births. Authorities searched Thompson's home and agents observed files and items that reference Capital One and the cloud computing company, other entities that may have been the targets of attempted or actual network intrusions. The breach will cost the firm between $100 million and $150 million in 2019. The company said, citing costs related to customer notifications, credit monitoring, technology costs, and legal support. And I'm almost certain they do not want to deal with that, but they have to. That's a huge bill that they have to pay thanks to her. Now, I don't know if she acted alone with this, but if she did, they need to throw her ass under the jail and make sure she stays there. Because if I was in that position where I could feel like my stuff is being compromised, especially having to deal with hackers before with my accounts years in the past, trust me, it's no fun. We got to get an investigation done. That costs money. And Then on top of that, they get that money. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get it back. And if you do, you may not get it all back. So this, I can't bring myself to call this person a woman. I only read it like that because that's what the article was saying. But yeah, this individual needs to definitely pay for their crime. And I mean, they really need to pay, because you're messing with people's money and livelihoods and personal stuff. And you saw what she said about doxing. That's also a huge issue on YouTube. I'm not going to get completely into it, but those of you who know, y'all probably heard that term before. That's not a good thing either, because, you know, releasing people's personal information just for the fun of it. Like, anyone could just run up to your house who you don't know and kill you or rob you or kidnap you, thanks to her or anyone else who thinks that doxing is funny, and it's not. And it is definitely a federal crime. And if, let's just put it this way, if that was to happen to me, you better hope that the cops get to you before I do. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.